Welcome everyone. It's Fiona and myself back here to tell you what's coming up in December with Scottish Independence Podcast. Apart from Christmas, that is, but we're giving you, as well as getting your Christmas presents all done and enjoying yourselves over Christmas and New Year, we've got some good podcasts for you to take off and have a wee bit of quiet time for yourself while everyone else is opening their presents.
New podcast every Friday. As you know, 1st of December is going to be the bits and pieces for November. The 8th of December, Friday the 8th, that's going to be Rising Clyde.
It's the very latest of the Rising Clyde podcast, came out just the other day, actually. Ian Bruce, who presents them and produces them, he's talking about what we might expect from COP28. You know, it's just getting going, it's just underway at the moment. There's a lot of discontent about the fact that it's an oil-rich country that's running it, and you know, I'm sure there's arguments both ways, so it's certainly a bit contentious having it where it is. But he's got together a few guests and they're talking about what might come out of it or what might not come out of it.
And then we're throwing in a bonus Tuesday on the 12th of December, which is the RIC conference. And we did do a podcast back in the summer, which was a planning meeting for RIC, Radical Independence Campaign. And one of the things they planned to do was hold a conference. Well, they did hold their conference and we've got the podcast. That'll be on the 12th. And then on the 15th, back to our normal Friday, we've got the 3rd in our little series of Routes to Independence discussions. So we've already done what was the SNP conference motion. We've also done what did SNP members think of it. So this one is what do people who are not in the SNP think of it.
That third one will be interesting. We've got 3 guests. We've recorded with 2 of them. We've recorded with Colin Fox of the Scottish Socialist Party and with Julie McAnulty of Independence for Scotland Party. And our third guest will be Dave Thompson, who is a member of ALBA. He's also in Christians for Independence. I think both the previous podcasts have been really good. They've certainly been very popular. I think this one will be a good way to round that off.
That'll be on the 15th. Friday the 22nd is the Festival of Survival. That was another fantastic all-day event that we were at in Glasgow on the twin crises of the climate emergency and the nuclear arms proliferation. Fabulous speakers, so we've got a selection of the best bits from all their speeches. November, it's just been an explosion of really great quality events. There was also the breakup of Britain, which we're hoping to feature some of. We were also at the Revive conference in Perth, which we're going to use for podcasts coming up. So it just seems to be that we've moved into a different way of doing things. Suddenly there's all these events based around topics that people care about.
I know you mentioned that a while back about, you know, was there a bit of a change, a sea change in what we were seeing, the kind of events we were seeing. And then at the same time, sort of in parallel, there's a fair few voices. I mean, there were some from the SNP conference and other people that we talked to saying, what we need to do is identify people's concerns, genuine concerns, genuinely listen to those concerns, not just immediately say, oh, it'll be better with independence, genuinely listen, and then think, well, will it be better with independence? And then, you know, wrap that concern with options that would only be possible if we were independent.
And tomorrow, Marlene and I are going to be at another of these events, which is the Our Star in Scotland, the EU Star, and some thoughts on how we might get back towards the EU. So that's another good one. Just so much good stuff going on.
Yeah. We nearly went to a Gordon Brown event. We were going to double up with EU Star. And earlier in the day, there's an event that Gordon Brown is organising. And I thought, oh, let's go, because, you know, it's always good to know what the opposition are up to. Unfortunately, it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning in Edinburgh, so it would have meant a bit of an early start for us. So in the end, we've decided to not go. But I'm sure it'll be all over Report in Scotland. So, you know, we'll find it, won't we? We could have come up with some crackers of questions, couldn't we? Mind you, I don't think he takes questions at these things. Just so as you all know who's listening to this, the very first time I voted for Gordon Brown was when he stood as student rector in Edinburgh University, which was 1968 or 69, something like that. So, you know, I have voted for him or his party quite a lot in the past, but not so keen these days for obvious reasons.
And then on the 29th of December, unless I'm completely incapacitated, will be a bits and pieces for December. It also depends what happens in December, if there's any news. But usually we manage to couple something together, so that's the plan for December. As far as our videos go, the video version of the Roots to Indie discussion, which we need a title for actually, we've not got a title yet, will be the 12th of December. That'll be a premiere at 8 p.m, Tuesday the 12th. Tuesday the 19th of December, 8 p.m. on Independence Live's YouTube. That'll be the premiere of our Festival of Survival video. Then we'll be back later in January with a few more video extras for you.
Before we sign off for December, Fiona, just in case we don't manage to get ourselves together to do a What's On for January, because, you know, it's the festive season, do you want to say quickly what we know is coming up in January so far?
5th of December, we've got another episode of Rising Clyde. This is another really interesting one with a South American climate activist. Friday the 12th, we are planning on capturing some of the highlights from the Revive conference in Perth. That'll probably be maybe a two-parter. The 19th of January will be part 2 of that conference, the speeches. And then the 26th will be January's bits and pieces.
Yep, we're probably going to get material from the EU STAR meeting.
A fabulous position right now, being awash with great material, more than we can handle. So it'll take us a little while to get through it all. But great stuff, and it's wonderful how much is going on.
Have a good Christmas, everyone, and good New Year when it comes. Could be a big one. Yep. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Bye then.
Bye.